Hi everyone, this is Anto Chávez with Be Latina News, and today we're going to be talking to Monogem, and she'll be telling us all about her music and especially her new single Bésame mucho. So I'm really excited to hear what she has to say and to deep in this conversation. So let's get started. She just joined. Hey, how are you?
Hi, good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Where are you right now?
I'm in Los Angeles. Where are you?
Nice. And not too far in Arizona.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice. We're in
That's
Arizona.
yeah. So sunny and nice right now. The weather's
That's
the
good.
best.
It's actually like really cold here, and I live in Santa
Really?
Monica. Yeah, I mean, cold for us. It's like 60 degrees.
Oh, that's nice weather. That's nice.
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah. So
love it. Thanks for having me.
of course, yeah. I'm so excited about this conversation. The song is amazing. So I can't wait to
Oh,
hear
thank you.
all the process and all the work that, is behind this.
Yeah,
Yeah. So let's jump
exciting.
right in. I really like asking guests to introduce themselves just so I don't use any labels that you don't use for yourself. And so just let us know who you are and what you do.
I'm Monogem, and I am a singer and songwriter and artist.
Awesome. So, Monogem, first, I would love to talk about your background and kind of how that influenced your music, if it does.
Mhm.
And so, how have you explored your Mexican heritage through music?
Yeah, well, this has been quite a new, exciting thing for me. I guess it's always been sort of tucked away, something that I've kept very close and not so much a secret, but it always kind of, um, I always kind of felt insecure about my Spanish speaking and my heritage just because of my mother's side is Mexican, so I'm actually third generation Californian. So yeah, so I it goes, it runs very deep, and my mother actually doesn't speak any Spanish and never wanted to growing up in like central LA. Like she got picked on for being Mexican as a kid. So she always wanted to stray from her heritage. And her mother always really instilled in me, like, don't ever lose it. And she would always speak in Spanish to me, from every day I can remember. So that's kind of where it all came from. But I didn't have like a direct connection with my mother because she, really didn't want to be a part of the Latin community growing up with us. So, like I said, and I've always been sort of singing in other languages. I studied a lot of Brazilian music in college. Actually, I went to Berklee College of Music, so it was always funny that I was always singing like bossa nova and all these like Portuguese beautiful songs in Portuguese, and I always would think to myself like, why aren't you singing in the language that you actually can speak? And then finally, 2 years ago, I reconnected with some friends from college, Kyle Patrick and Will Snyder. Um, they're a production duo. They call themselves the Slackademics. And
I love it.
yeah, it's great. And so we had like this first really intense reconnection, like a month of making new music. And I sort of expressed to them, like, I want to try writing something in Spanish. And they were all about it. They really pushed me to do so. So thus the birth of Soy Lo Que Soy, and it just sort of like took off from there, like I got uh, all these positive affirmations around that this was just like the right path. And I feel like it really, it sort of revealed itself in the music. So,
Yeah. And so I want to like talk a little bit more about the ways in which, so we know, it's not necessarily your mother who inflicted this like culture and your heritage in you, but your grandma. And so, like, how has your relationship with your grandma influenced your music, kind of? And because I know also you talk about her a lot, especially
Hmm.
when the single came out, Bésame mucho.
Hmm.
So if you could
Hmm.
tell us more about that, I would love it.
Yeah, I mean, she just was like she's not with us any longer, sadly.
Right.
But she really was, how do I put this? She was the matriarch, she really held all of us together, and all of those things that are quintessentially maternal were just her. And she loved anything to do with Latin music, and especially Mexican songs and traditional like ranchera music and all that. Like that was just like all of her big birthdays, we would like we would have like mariachis come and perform. Like she really embodied her culture and her heritage, and wanted all of us to. So when my mother sort of rejected it, and I always kind of like gravitated towards it, I think that was a really special connection for us. And especially the fact that like she and I would all her name was Hortensia. So she and I would always speak in Spanish. I mean, my broken Spanish, I definitely don't speak beautiful fluent Spanish as much as I wish I did, but I think that was always like, just a meeting ground for my grandmother and I. Um, and the connection to Besame Mucho is really special, actually. I have like vivid memories of her like showing me the song. I think we like pretty sure her favorite version was like a Luis Miguel version or something.
That's
And
so cool.
I think he did it. I think it was him. Um, and I actually performed it for her at my bat mitzvah. I'm Jewish, and I performed it for her. Like my bat mitzvah was like me on stage. So um,
I love
you know,
that.
it really comes full circle for us because um, I should have posted like videos of 13-year-old me singing that song and speaking Spanish to her on the microphone. Like it it really, I mean, it couldn't be more connected to me and who I am, and my upbringing and my childhood. So that like the fact that it's being so well received, with so much love is like just kills me. I literally just got out of the shower and heard it on KCRW this morning. Like it's like
Oh,
I die.
that's awesome. It's such a beautiful backstory too. You don't always get to hear this really thoughtful, creative processes behind some songs, and this is such a just really adorable and sweet story.
Thank
And
you.
it's an honor also for your grandma. I'm sure she's from heaven, like listening to this and loving it. And so I
I can
know,
only hope.
yeah, yeah. And
Yeah, it's
and so
awesome.
I would love to know a little bit more about Bésame Mucho, of course.
Yeah,
The
I
creative process, whether you did this by yourself or were you with the producers since they were
mhm.
encouraging you a lot. How did that look like?
Yeah, so we actually, this was kind of a really fast turnaround. I have always wanted to cover this song, but as you could imagine, I mean, like harmonically, what's going on in the song, it's probably arguably the most popular Spanish language song, I think, like ever. Would you say? I mean, maybe. I mean, it's really, really famous song.
Yeah.
So it was very tricky from the start. And the chords of the song, it's tricky territory because I really didn't want it to sound just like a cheesy cover,
Mm,
or like, my background is in jazz, so I didn't want it to sound like a lounge, like a loungy jazz cover. Nothing wrong with that, but like it just had to feel original. So I worked with Kyle and Will, with the guys I've been building this whole album with. I'm making a full length Spanish record.
oh, nice.
Yeah. So we had a short session one day and we didn't really know how to use our time. We were like, should we start something new or, and then I was like, you know what? Like this cover, I really have to put a cover out one of these days. I haven't put one out in years. And this is the one. And like we kind of disagreed on it because they were like, "Are you sure? Like, there's probably different songs." And I'm like, "No, we're going with this. Like, this one feels right to me. I know we can make something really cool." So I'm sure if if you compare original versions of the song, like the chords are pretty different.
Yeah.
We did like some reharm. So sorry, it seems like construction across the
Nice.
street. Um, so actually, Will and we sort of just worked it out, just keys and vocals, and we kind of did the version that you're hearing, like pretty much in one take,
Wow.
which was like and with the exception of like little parts that we like tweaked and moved a little, but for the most part, that whole vocal take is like the lead vocal is one take and one take on the piano, on the keys part. So that for me
Awesome.
was like, I mean, there's no other way for me to like feel more proud of something because it was real and it was live and it was in time, and that to me is like what music is all about, and to be able to capture that on a record is like, I mean, I just hope to be able to do that with all the future records I make.
Yeah.
um yeah, so we really tracked everything in like one session, and
That's crazy.
we came up with the cover with the whole idea like in I think September. So it was quick turnaround.
It
And
was really fast. Everything happened so fast.
yeah, so that was definitely the fastest turnaround, like as far as like mixing and mastering goes for us. So that uh, I'm proud of that too, because like normally we can just go on agonizing over things, like it just it was nice, and a nice thing for me to just like have that be my last release of the year.
Hmm.
And I was gonna put out another single from my record, but I'm gonna save it for the first of the year. I couldn't imagine like competing with the election and everything going on. It's just,
Yeah.
yeah.
That,
So
yeah, that's true. But I think this is, like you said, this is a perfect way of ending the year for you. It's such a beautiful song, and the connection, the personal connection. I just think it sends it to even a higher place. Like, and so what about the video? I think that the video is really really interesting too, and it's so cool. I mean, the visuals. What was the concept behind it?
you know, um, well, I've had this whole like I wrote a song recently which will be on the record, and there's a background vocal randomly. It's like seda, seda, una manera, and it's like talking about silk and like being silky. And for some reason, like I'm just drawn to silks and like textiles and textures like that. So I knew that I literally before this shoot for Bésame mucho, like I wanted to I grabbed 4 hours with like a really small team, and I went and bought like hundreds of yards of silk, and like all beautiful different colors of nude. And a good friend of mine, Emilce, came and like just set design the hell out of this beautiful like blank space. And we just like I brought all my toys. I brought a projector. Like we just wanted to like shoot some really beautiful, like ethereal, kind of sensual content. And like it started out, I kind of been doing these things where we'll shoot like mostly photos, and then my photographer will like switch to video and just kind of shoot like some B-roll type stuff. So that's how the shoot went. Like honestly, I didn't even realize I didn't plan on making a full video.
Oh.
Um, I just wanted to make some like teasers, like teasers to tease the song. And then when we had enough content, and I worked with this amazing editor, Maritza Garcia, she just like took it to a whole other level. I said I wanted like a lot of nature and and just kind of like slow transitions. And obviously with COVID, we couldn't shoot like a full blown video, but it all
Yeah.
kind of worked, going in and out of like these beautiful like landscapes to like our studio with the fabric. And then so it just all felt like very linear and connected. And
Yeah.
I felt like um, it just gave a really strong visual for this rendition. So I just like was so pleased with how that came out.
Yeah, it really flows. You're right. I completely agree. And so it also just it goes with the vibe of the song, like the experience of watching the video and listening to the song is such a different one from just listening to it or just watching it. Like you really, it's just different. I loved it. I mean, I think
Thank
the
you.
visuals were so cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that I was kind of doing all of those movements that just, I mean, I guess I did. Like we put the song on in the studio and it was just like whatever came to me, like all these arm movements. And then when you throw them in slow-mo, it just like looks so great,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, that's the best when you don't know where it's going, but
Hmm.
it's taking you somewhere and it ends up being the right path.
Right. Yeah. All I
Yeah.
knew, like all I thought about, I mean, sound like I hope it doesn't sound too cliche, but when I thought of this song, I mean, it's a sexy cover. Like it felt like sensual and obviously lyrically it is too. And it's so funny that it's like this connection with my grandmother. And did you also know that the original songwriter Consuelo Velasquez, she wrote this song. I like did some research on it, and she wrote this song like in the 40s,
Hmm.
having never been kissed.
Oh,
And
wow.
and like at a time when kissing was considered a sin in Mexico. And like it, just super conservative times. And she wrote it about like what she imagined kissing someone for the first time would be. And I just thought that was so like it was just so such a what a beautiful like concept and
Yeah.
story of that song that has been like just covered by the most people,
Yeah.
and for it to have like kind of more of a romantic story there, but then like the idea of connecting to that story and then also connecting to why my grandmother loved the song so much. Like, I don't know why, I don't know if she had like a romantic connection to it or if it's just like she liked how it sounded. I don't know, but I sort of took those two stories in with me when I was tracking the vocals. And like I feel like the whole experience was almost like out of body, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And so, it's awesome to know the backstory and what you felt in the process of making the song and kind of your research and everything. But I would also love to know what you want people to get from the song. If there's one thing that, people who are listening to it right now will get, what do you think, it's important to you for them to like get?
Mm. Um, like a sense of calm, like I thought that I don't know, we really tried to make this feel as moving as possible. Like I want it to move people. I want it to feel as emotional as I felt like
Mhm.
singing those parts and all of that like live in time. Like I want that to translate into people's souls, like I want them to feel that what I kind of went through uh in the recording process.
Yeah.
Um Yeah, I think like a sense of calm and I want them to like I don't know, is this weird to say? Like I want people to feel beautiful when they listen to it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No,
It's
it makes sense. It makes sense. And I think, you know, not everyone's gonna have the same thought process and everything when you listen to a song. But what can unite people is the feeling of calmness, for example,
hmm
with this song. So I think
hmm
that that's a really good point.
Hmm.
And so my last question will have to be, where can we listen and watch to Bésame Mucho?
You can listen everywhere on all the platforms, Spotify, Amazon, Tidal, Deezer, all the any digital platform you use, and then you can watch the video on my IGTV. You can watch it on YouTube. Yeah, I think just those two. You could also watch it on People en Español.
Oh, cool, cool, cool.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
wonderful. And we can't leave without me asking you, are there any upcoming projects that you'd like to tell us about? Because this,
Yes.
yeah, okay.
Next year, probably like spring summer 2021, I will be releasing my full length debut album. It's a bilingual album.
Okay,
So
that's
yeah,
exciting.
I know it's very exciting. Thank you. So
That is
I'm
so
working
exciting.
hard. I've been working hard on that all year, since I couldn't be touring or doing anything this year. I was like, let's just finish this record. So that's priority number one.
Okay, I can't wait to listen to it. And
Thank
I
you.
really appreciate your time with us here. It
Of
was a
course.
lovely conversation, and our platform is always open to you. I can't wait to have another conversation when the album comes out because
Same.
yeah,
Looking forward to that. Thank you so much for having me.
yeah, thank you.
Okay,
Have,
see you soon.
have a great
Bye.
day.
You too.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye, everyone.